Welcome back to your weekly installment of the Reserve List Top 10. These are the hottest selling cards on the reserve list from November 30th to December 7th of 2024. And if you're looking for a little bit of spice and all things nice, well, this is going to be a video you're not going to want to miss. Hi everyone and welcome back. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me again today for another Reserve List Top 10 video. A reminder, if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notification bell because I put out new content every day. And of course, you can support me on TCG Player by using my affiliate link found in the description of all my videos. Now let's go ahead and take a look at number 10. Now, number 10 is Lake of the Dead from Alliances, coming in at $79.23. This card has been seeing a bit of a decline, a bit of loss of value, which makes it a better buy and a more attractive buy to many players. It comes in with 50 sales this week, which is $3,961.50. But that's only if they were all near mint, and guess what? They weren't. That's right. Moderately played and heavily played also took up slots this week. Now, when we take a look at this card, you can see it's a land card that says when Lake of the Dead comes into play, you sacrifice a swamp or you bury Lake of the Dead. Now, you can add 1 black to your mana pool, which is fine, but also you can sacrifice a swamp to add 4 black to your mana pool. This sees a lot of play inside Eldrazi decks, so pay attention to cards like this. They're not going anywhere, and really, it should be a $500 card. Enjoy the discount. Don't complain. Just enjoy. Number 9. Number 9 this week is coming to us from Revised. This is Tundra. That's right, man. We're in the glassy blue waters with a little bit of plains in between. Now, you notice this card also has 50 sales. That's right, guys. It's technically a tie. This is November 30th to December 7th, guys. 50 sales and 50 sales. But that's $23,003.50. And this card averages $460.07. But everything from damaged, sleeve playable cards to moderate to light to near mint to even a BGS copy, a lot of cards are moving when it comes to dual lands, and you're going to see a lot of them on the list this week. It's unavoidable. We had the rest of the Cyber Weekend sales, including Cyber Monday, and that leads us up to this top 10, which is why we're seeing such high sales and tons of money moving on the list. I will have a little bit at the end of the video for some honorable mentions you probably are interested in as well. But still, Tundra is a very attractive card for many reasons, and most of them start with Commander, Vintage, and Legacy, so let's go through this. Let's go ahead to our next card. Now, this one is Savannah. Now, Savannah comes in at $320 US for a near mint copy. You can find them here in Canada for around $280, $290 for a lightly played copy, and it goes down from there, so it's a pretty attractive deal. Now, 58 copies sold this week, which is $18,560 of total sales volume if they're all near mint. And again, in this case, it's everything under the sun. Near mint, lightly played, heavily played, damaged, you name it, it was there. Savannah, again, being a green-white card, it's not the most expensive of the dual lands, but at this point, most players are happy to get any dual land. They're happy just to step up into that realm of owning a card that is never going to lose value for them, knowing that even if it goes up and down, it always seems to end up on the right side of things. And when you trade into cards, when you trade your modern staples or cards you're not using anymore, these are the cards people trade into. And it looks like the market's getting a little bit thinned out. Now, we'll cover that in the next few weeks as we get closer to the holidays, but let's keep an eye on it. Now we're going to the Urza's block, or are we not? Yes, we are. Sarah's Sanctum, Urza Saga. That's the Urza block, baby. $259.99. This saw 58 sales as well. Do you notice another tie? That's right. It's tied again. 58 sales this week. That's $15,079.42. And of course, this card has been a lot higher than this, but it's been a lot lower. But mainly that's before a lot of enchantments, enchantment creatures, enchantment lands came around. Sarah's Sanctum's not going anywhere. Legendary land, tap to add 1 white to your mana pool for each enchantment that you control. Guys, you see where this is going? A card like this is either going to get banned or it's going to hit the $1,000 mark sooner rather than later if Wizards keeps printing these high-end enchantment cards that have to be dealt with. This card can ramp into that mana and just get a real thing going, man. So keep an eye on this card. If you don't own one, you might want to start looking into it if you can. If you can afford it, grab one, hold on to it. All right, guys, let's go ahead again to Revise and take a look at our next card. And this is Taiga. Now, the Taiga Uppercut here comes in at revised with $349.98. This is the red green version, 59 sales this week. That's $20,648.82. Now, the copies this week that sold, no damage, no heavily played. This is mostly lightly played and moderately played with a few near mint. And as well, we have a couple of BGS copies also selling in the market space. People looking for those perfect 10s. Now, when we take a look at this card, and this was my Minimox's first dual land, don't forget. This is the red green. He bought a really beat up one. He still has it to this day, of course, and he's still playing in his red dragon deck. But I look at this and I see these dual lands, and I see pride of ownership. I see the ability of somebody to save up, conserve, and get something they're truly going to hold on to. If you're a Magic fan, if you're a collector of the reserve list, or if you're just a player who's looking for longer term value that doesn't lose, these are the cards. Our next one again, Urza Saga. Guys, we're back with Gaia's Cradle is here again. I can't believe this. Number 5, 61 sales. That's $53,328.64. This card has gained like $50 this month. The Black Friday, Cyber Monday stuff saw the Cradle go through the roof with people trading in and adding cash to the kitty to get this card. Okay. Now, I didn't make a big deal of this as well, but just so you guys know, the World Championship editions, those ones sold a big chunk as well, like 40 copies moved. Not enough to make the list here this week, but it's something significant to get hold of, to say people are willing to spend $100 to $150 getting a World Championship edition. Don't forget, this thing adds 1 green to your mana pool for each creature you control, okay? Now, revised again, we're diving into the Wheel of Fortune. That's right, man. Pat Sajak is back. We don't know where Vanna White is. Maybe that's her under the cowl. But 66 sales this week. That's $19,799.34. $299.99 on average. And again, another card on the reserve list that is starting to gain value, gain momentum. Now, this again is one of those cards. These are the mid-range reserve list cards. These aren't the Black Lotuses of the world. But after you own one of these, you don't generally sell them. This is a sorcery for 1 red, 2 other that say all players must discard their hands and draw 7 new cards. Whether you're vintage, legacy, kitchen table, magic, maybe you're just playing some commander. No matter how you look at a card like this, you don't give it up. You hold on to it because we know where this card has been. It's been as high as $750 and a $1,500 graded copy back in 2021. Don't underestimate cards like this. Now, let's jump in and take a look at our next card. This is Mox Diamond, and I did not expect to see this on the list this week. $626.69, okay? 70 copies sold. $43,868.30. Now, I'm going to let you in on something. If you're watching this video, if you're in Canada and you're looking for a copy, I did see a heavily played copy, and that was at 401 Games, and let's just say it's a pretty attractive price if you're shopping around looking for a Mox Diamond. I was surprised to see one heavily played in the store. Now, when we take a look at Mox Diamond, it comes into play. You choose and discard a land card or sacrifice Mox Diamond. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Play this ability as a mana source. You can see why, right? I don't need to say anything else. You don't need to say anything. You understand why this card is so expensive. I can just sit here now for 3 seconds and say absolutely nothing and just admire it. Okay, let's go into our next card, guys. All right, we are now diving into Underground Sea. That's right, guys. It's back on the list this week. It stayed here to the number 2 spot. 73 sales, $55,709.95. This thing is averaging $763.15 per copy for a near mint copy. And let me tell you, players are buying everything under the sun that they can get their hands on. The dual lands are having a lot of pressure on the supply. We're seeing a rising price, and that's a lot to do with the outside world economy and a lot more cash coming around. So don't underestimate where some of these cards may go. If you're a person who can wait, I would wait this out for a long time right now because the price looks like it's going to keep surging upward. We've got a mana producing card that'll get you black or blue. Like, you just got to have one if you're playing Commander Black and Blue. You want to have this thing and own it. And it's still under $1,000. Well, that seems like a pretty expensive card to me as well. So I'd be saving for it now if you really had to get one. But let's go to number 1, because number 1 threw me for a loop. It is Grim Monolith from Urza's Legacy. This thing has an average price of $299.32. It had 80 sales this week, which is $23,945.60 of total sales action. Now, don't forget, if you look for a foil of this card, the first foils ever, it's like $3,200, okay? You can get like a time walk for that. Now, Grim Monolith is a 2 casting cost artifact that states it comes into play. It can add 3 colorless mana to your mana pool. You play it as a mana source. You can also pay 4 to untap it. And there's lots of ways of ramping up mana to make this like an infinite mana loop. Don't underestimate cards like this. Always remember to shop smart, shop S-Mart, and this was your number 1 card. Now, if you're looking for a used copy, you might be still paying around $200 right now. So it's still a very expensive card to get your hands on. But this is one of the ones I like more often than not. Buy one if you can afford it, guys. Let's get to the end of the video here and talk about some stuff. Guys, welcome back to the end of the video. I know you're here at the after section. We went through the top 10. It's incredible to see how much action we had on the reserve list, but how little is being spoken out there. It's insane. I mean, I can't even think of a good title to put on today's video. Shop Smart, Shop S-Mart. You missed it. What were you thinking? I don't know. I can choose any of those. We'll see what comes up in my brain later on. But I want you guys to look at a few things. Soldevi Excavations had around 40 sales. Scorched Ruins, 40 sales. We had multiple cards that were 40 plus. Now let's get to a few that didn't have 40 plus, but are worth mentioning. Time Twister, 16 copies. 16 copies. Okay. Mox Pearl, 9 copies. Mox Sapphire, 4 copies. Mox Ruby, 12 copies. Hold on. Mox Emerald, 12 copies. 2 near mint. All unlimited. Those were all unlimited sales. Guys, all the Moxes were selling at above what I thought they could even possibly muster. None of them made the list. But there's about $250,000. By the way, no Black Lotus is sold. 5 time vaults. 4 time walks. Like, when you look at the sales volumes of these cards, and you look at the honorable mentions I'm talking to you, Keljoran Outpost almost made the list. Whoever you were buying that, I caught that. Soldevi Excavations, 40 plus sales. I caught that too. We didn't make the list with these cards, but those are still really high sales volumes to see at this time of year, this close. A lot of Christmas gifts going around, I guess. A lot of people taking advantage of Cyber Monday stuff. And now I can't wait to see what happens right here the last couple of weeks of Christmas. You might see some people going, I'm too late to buy something. I got to buy something fast. And they overspend. We'll see. We'll see. Either way, this is where we find ourselves in the market. Higher than average sales. Price is being pushed higher and nobody's mentioning it. It is what it is. Take advantage if you can. Thanks a lot for stopping by, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages. I will see you guys in the live stream. Have a great one. Hey guys, here we are again. We're at the end of the video. You're looking at all the amazing patrons on my channel, the YouTube membership members who make it happen. Now, without these people here supporting the channel, this kind of content wouldn't happen. I wouldn't be here on YouTube and it would all be over. But because they are here and because they do support, I'm going to keep putting out content every single day. So thanks again for supporting me. I'll see you guys tomorrow, of course, with another video. Welcome back, guys. Interesting stuff. Not so much magic related, but life. Life rated for most of you out there. If you got kids, bring them around. Bring them around. When somebody tells you you can't do something, that you're not able to do it, what they're telling you is that they are not able to do it. And they want to drag you down with them. Now you have a choice there. You can choose to let that chip away at you and believe it. And maybe even give up on something you didn't want to give up on. You may look back on that with regret. Or you may choose to just accept the fact that that person is having a hard time. They can't make it happen for themselves and they just want to bring everybody else down. And you can ignore that and keep pushing ahead. Friend or no friend, it happens to everybody. But you keep pushing ahead. You keep trying. You don't give up. You never surrender. You keep pushing until you get what you want or until you give up. I think it's better to keep pushing. And when someone tells you to give up, don't. Don't. There. If this person who sent me those emails reads this, I hope you have a better day. It will get better. Don't stress, man. Life is hard sometimes. But giving up, nah, not my style. I'll see you guys soon.